When my parents demanded that I hand over the keys to my penthouse in front of 60 guests at a family gathering, I felt a surge of disbelief, anger, and incredulity, because this wasn't just a casual request. It was a public attempt to humiliate me, to undermine my independence, and to assert control over something I had earned through years of hard work and persistence, and I knew that yielding, even for a moment, would signal that their entitlement outweighed my effort. The room went quiet. As I processed the situation, seeing the curious, shocked faces of friends and relatives who had gathered for what was supposed to be a celebration, not a spectacle of family drama, and I realized I had to respond firmly without letting my emotions get the better of me. I took a slow breath, standing tall and composed, and said calmly but decisively, "No, Mom. I will not hand over the keys," letting the words resonate through the room, because this was more than a refusal. It was a declaration that my autonomy and achievements were not subject to their control, and that respect for my decisions was non-negotiable, regardless of the audience. My mother's face tightened, her lips pressed into a thin line, and she tried to argue, reminding me of family tradition, legacy, and supposed obligations, but I remained steady, maintaining eye contact, aware that conceding even an inch would embolden them further. I calmly explained that the penthouse was a result of my own work, investments, and decisions, that no amount of familial expectation could overwrite my accomplishments, and that attempting to take it publicly was not only disrespectful but unacceptable. Guests whispered, shifting uneasily as the tension filled the room, and I could sense some of them were anticipating a dramatic confrontation, yet I refused to escalate, recognizing that maintaining composure was a powerful way to assert authority without losing control, and that dignity in the face of aggression often speaks louder than anger or retaliation. Over the next few minutes, the situation became a careful balance of boundaries and negotiation, with my father attempting subtle manipulation, my mother insisting on entitlement, and me calmly repeating my stance, reinforcing that ownership was earned and that respect for individual achievement was essential, and as the crowd observed, I noticed a subtle shift in energy. What had started as an attempt to intimidate me was slowly turning into acknowledgement of my resolve, and the room's focus shifted from them to me, not as a target, but as someone standing up for themselves with clarity, courage, and composure. After what felt like an eternity, my parents relented, muttering under their breath, and I realized that their public demand had inadvertently given me a platform to assert my independence in front of witnesses, demonstrating that persistence, calm confidence, and clear boundaries are more powerful than confrontation or compliance. The guests, many of whom had known me for years, began congratulating me quietly, acknowledging both my restraint and strength, and I felt a quiet satisfaction in knowing that I had handled a difficult, potentially humiliating situation with integrity. In the days that followed, I reflected on the incident and the lessons it had reinforced. That personal achievements, especially ones earned through dedication and hard work, are worth defending, that standing firm in the face of manipulation is essential for maintaining self-respect, and that composure in moments of high tension communicates strength far more effectively than anger or aggression. Ultimately, refusing to hand over the keys in front of 60 people wasn't just about property. It was about asserting ownership over my life, choices, and dignity, and ensuring that no amount of familial pressure could diminish the value of the work I had done or the life I had built for myself.